In this tutorial, I want to do a simple video about how to select all records within a certain date range. And I'm going to go ahead and just make this my default database. So we'll just select all from Suite CRM dot, and then we'll just use accounts because it's handy. And we'll just start with this and see all the rows to make sure that executes accurately. And then what you want to do is put in your where clause, use the date modified or date entered, whichever you prefer. And I'll just use date modified. And I'm just going to go ahead and give this an alias. And we'll just use the alias up here to stay consistent. Where date modified. And so one thing you can do is, if you want to find where the date is less than a week ago, so you can do something like if this is less than date subtract, and then you put in the two dates that you want to subtract. So it would be now minus the interval of 1 week, or whatever time period you would like. In this case, it won't return anything because all of these are older than a week. It's actually been longer than that. Let's see. Let's do 3 months just to make sure I get something back. Oh, still haven't gotten anything back. It works, but still isn't gonna. Let's do 5 months. No, okay. 7 months. Really? What was the date entered on this? This was 1 month ago, so I should have returned it. So why doesn't it return? Well, when in doubt, what we can do is simply open our browser and go to W3 Schools and look for date subtract. This will give you a pretty good idea of how to use this. So I was using month, where date is a valid date expression and expression is a number of info you would want to subtract from right now. So perhaps I have this wrong. Yes, I think this is the problem. Yep, so that returns everything then. So in this case, the date modified was after 7 months ago, which is correct. And if I do less than again, it would be, let's see, if I do 1 month, it returns everything still, because then in that case, then the date modified is before 1 month ago, which is correct. And if you want to do something where you do it between two dates, you can do that as well. I'm going to copy this, and there's actually a nice function called between, and you can specify the date range. And we can go to W3 Schools again, between MySQL, between operator, where is between this value and this value. So we can just say between this value, which is now in the timestamp, and let's do 3 months ago. And I believe you have to use and with that. Yes, you do. And let's see if this is syntactically correct. No, it is not. didn't do the whole thing. No, it did. We need to use the right syntax to use near at line 2. Interesting. I'm going to comment this out because I think it's getting confused. At line 2, right syntax near quotation mark. I don't have quotation mark. Interesting. To use near blank at line 2 or 2 quotation marks, but I don't use that. Maybe I need to type something like that. Let's look back at the example where column name is between value 1, value 2. Probably because this isn't a valid date and can only be used as a method to subtract. So what we can do is we'll just get the value of 3 months ago. So we'll just do date subtract, and we'll type UTC now, and then UTC timestamp, and then interval 3 month. And it's important that I show you, how I'm struggling with this, because it's important to see how something works and what to do when something doesn't work. So for this, it needed to be 2 valid date objects in MySQL, if that makes sense. So what I did to fix this is that this date subtract function returns a date object in MySQL. And the reason why this didn't work is this is actually a kind of an integer value, and I couldn't compare it using between because there was 2 different data types. And I wish the error message or return was a little bit more descriptive. So instead of 3 months, that actually should have returned more than it did, because our date modified was between those 2 dates. So between now and a date subtract of now and five months ago. Let's do 1 month. A year. Nothing. That should have returned the value that we wanted. Interesting. So perhaps it needs to be in, have these hash marks in front of it. Looks like it's commenting it out, but let's try it anyway. So tactically it doesn't look right. happens when I do this? I have MySQL error. Try it myself. Huh, interesting. Well, this syntax must be for different database technology. Instead of using this, or maybe rather instead of using this, let's just type the date manually. So 2017, and then we want the month, and then the day. Let's do the first, and then the day would just be the first as well. And let's see what this brings back. Still nothing. Very interesting. Today is the 21st. Well, syntactically that is correct, and it should work as per W3 Schools. Maybe I have the values mixed up here. Hey, look at that. So it looks like the lesser value must go first, and the greater value must go second. Interesting. This concludes my tutorial. Thank you for watching.